Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is in my chapter 8, text 5, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and the Acharyas. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. Today is a very special day. What is that special day? Today is Vaikuntha Ekadasi. Vaikuntha in Tamil. So as you know, on this day, in Sri Rangam especially, is a very greatly celebrated festival. And the Vaikuntha Dwaram is opened on this day only. And lakhs of people come. Because it is said that anyone who goes through the Vaikuntha Dwara on Vaikuntha Ekadasi goes to Vaikuntha. This festival is especially celebrated among the Vaishnavas of Tamil Nadu. I don't see it's much celebrated or even known about elsewhere. And throughout Tamil Nadu on this day, people will come to Vishnu temples. If they can't visit Sri Rangam, they'll go to some local Vishnu temple. Just as you have come here this evening. We don't usually find so many people coming on Wednesday evening, but because it is Vaikuntha Ekadasi, you have come. So the idea is that we want to go to Vaikuntha. And if you can go easily just by walking through a door, then why not go? However, really the desire has to be there to go to Vaikuntha also. We have to understand what that means to go to Vaikuntha. People go through the Vaikuntha Dwara and then the next day they're back in their home in Cuddalore or Chennai or wherever it may be. They go through the Vaikuntha Dwara and next day they're back in their home in Cuddalore or Chennai or wherever it may be. And it doesn't seem very much like Vaikuntha. In fact, it's not. Vaikuntha means the spiritual world where there is no anxiety. But this material world is full of anxiety. That anxiety comes because we are in an unnatural position. Our natural position is to serve Krishna. That is the situation in Vaikuntha. Every resident of Vaikuntha is a servant of Vaikuntha, the Lord of Vaikuntha, Narayana. But when we foolishly want to make ourselves into Narayana, then we become a Daridra Narayana. There is no such thing as Daridra Narayana. Narayana means Lakshmipati, the Lord of the Goddess of Fortune. But in this material world, imitating Narayana, we are not full of all opulence as Narayana is. We are devoid of any opulence.
But
Devoid of all opulence. The jiva is supposed to be in his natural position of service to Narayana, partaking in the happiness of Narayana. But coming to this material world, he becomes daridra, devoid of all opulence. He desires to enjoy, but he cannot enjoy. He desires to dominate, but he cannot dominate. Or if he gets a little ability to apparently dominate, that position is always being contested by others. Everyone wants to dominate. Someone is dominating on the political level. Someone is dominating on the physical level. They'll push others out of the way. Generally we find if anyone is given any little authority over others, they like to dominate and control and like this. They like to suppress them. So this is not Vaikuntha Vritti. This is not the consciousness of Vaikuntha. This is material consciousness. Vaikuntha consciousness is Seva Vritti, the consciousness of service. Now when we say service, people generally think of opening hospitals and schools and things like this. But the real meaning of seva is Rishikena Rishikesha Sevana. the service of the senses, of the master of the senses. This is called bhakti. The whole concept of seva in this material world is distorted. We think that by doing service to others we will help them. I will open hospitals and help people. I will open schools and help people. But this very idea that I can help others is a product of distorted consciousness. We desire to show our superiority over others by posing as their helper. We cannot help anybody by attempting to pander to their material needs. Service, real service, means that which is for the satisfaction of Vishnu. We cannot help Vishnu, but we ourselves are benefited by serving him. Now, if we think I will benefit someone by my that's actually the opposite meaning of what service means. Service should be done simply for the satisfaction of Vishnu. So those who go to the Vaikuntha Dwara, they want to go to Vaikuntha, where that is the place where Yah prayati samadbhavam yati nasyatra samshaha. Where going one never returns. So we understand that going to Vaikuntha, that is for our benefit. This is the major reason that though we have all respect for the worshippers of Lord Narayan, we state that the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, they are even greater than those of the worshippers of Narayana. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught to worship Krishna, who is Narayana, simply out of love for him.
Who is Narayana?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put emphasis on service out of love for Krishna. We have heard the saying that we should do our duty for duty's sake. This idea is there in Vedic culture, that we should perform dharmic activities simply because it is dharma. Dharma rakshati rakshitaha. One who protects dharma is protected by dharma. One who protects dharma, or the Vedic principles, is protected by dharma, who is Vishnu. So the Vedic path teaches us to perform our duty without any sense of personal reward. But even above and beyond that is to serve Krishna out of pure love. Not simply out of duty. Duty is a good platform. To be dutiful is good. Animals are not dutiful. Even they to some extent may have. Some animals, the dog can be trained to serve the master. There are dogs that are trained to guide blind people in the Western countries, we see. An absolutely dissolute life, dissolute means without any rules and regulations. That is the life of even the lower animals. So, dharma means to regulate our lives so that we will act in a manner that is pleasing to Vishnu. And when one follows the principles of dharma, specifically for the object of satisfying Lord Vishnu, that can take one to Vaikuntha.
அது அவனை நிச்சயமாக வைகுண்டத்திற்கு இட்டுச் செல்லும்.
Vanashamacharavata purushenah parakuman Vishnur aradyate pantha nanyat tatto shakaranam. For people in general, it is recommended to follow the Varnashram system, worshipping Lord Vishnu. And for the common man, it is considered there is no other way to satisfy him. What is that verse? How does that begin? Sangsite haritoshanam. Atapunde dvijasreshtas Vanashama vibhagashaha Svanushthitasya dharmasya Sangsidhe haritoshanam. The same conclusion is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, that by performing all the duties of Varnashram, one should come to all of this is simply meant for satisfying Lord Hari. That is the ultimate purpose of the Varnashram system. So this is a very good system which has been followed for many centuries. In recent times it became broken down and was known as the caste system. But even better than that is the system given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the process of chanting the holy names of Krishna. Especially as Prabhupada emphasizes throughout this chapter, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This chapter is entitled Attaining the Supreme. The subject matter is how to die so that we don't die again. Everyone has to leave this body. But the subject matter of this chapter is how to die so that we will not be born again. That Krishna gives the solution here in this verse which we're reading today. That if we think of Krishna at the time of death, then we go to Krishna and we don't come back again. So how to think of Krishna at the time of death? Prabhupada is emphasizing throughout this chapter. Again and again in this chapter, in the purports, he's quoting the full Mahamantra. In this short purport, he quotes the Mahamantra twice. Prabhupada states that generally it's not possible to remember Krishna at the time of death if we haven't practiced throughout life. Therefore, we should practice throughout life chanting the Mahamantra. Now, you may think, well, I'll just go to Sri Rangam and go to the Vaikuntha Dwara on Vaikuntha Ekadasi and that's it. I don't have to worry anymore. But really entering through the Vaikuntha Dwara means that our consciousness should become Vaikuntha consciousness. You need a Tamil person on the book table, like a Bengali and who knows what. Is it? Okay. Not doing his duty. Is it? You need someone who he can preach and sell books? Yeah, I guess he's done this. I remember many years ago, I was, this is more than about 25 years ago, I was staying in our ISKCON center in Calcutta. So our chief accountant, his name was Mr. Das Gupta, typical Bengali name. And just like it said here that if you go to the Vaikuntha Dwara, then you go to Vaikuntha. So in that area it said that if you take bath at Ganga Sagar, where Ganga meets the sea, on that particular, what's that day? The Ganga Sagar Mela, there's a particular day. Then, that's it. You don't have to do anything else. So he took a day off work and he went there and he came back. The next day he said, that's it. I don't have to do anything else. No more puja, nothing. I've done everything. I took bath, nothing more to do. Misunderstanding. Just like that stated, if one takes bath at Radha Kund, one will develop love for Krishna like that which Radha possesses. So we find so many people take bath in Radha Kund. And the same evening they'll be at the snack bar chatting with their friends and cafe or whatever you want to call it. So it's not that they go and then they're full of all material consciousness and then they go in the water and they come out and practically the same consciousness is there. So what happened? Did they take bath or didn't they? Or is it wrong that you get love of Krishna? Or what's going on here? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explained that it's not possible actually to take bath in Radha Kund only with the spiritual body. There's a question of eligibility. It's said that even Narad Muni doesn't have the opportunity to bathe in Radha Kund. Narad Muni can travel anywhere in the material and spiritual world. So if we can get a train from Salem to Mathura and get a tempo and go to Radha Kund and jump in the water, then Narad Muni can't do that. We should understand actually what this means. To enter the Vaikuntha Dwara means we should leave behind our material consciousness. There should be a significant change in our consciousness. So all these facilities are offered to help us uplift our consciousness. We go to the temple on Vaikuntha Ekadasi. So the idea is we'll get the benefit of the blessings of Lord Vishnu. But we should take this very deeply, not superficially. If we are in the illusion of identifying the body as ourselves, and we have never heard from devotees, we never took the trouble to, we never took advantage of the opportunity to hear from devotees, then we won't understand who Vishnu is. We won't develop the desire to serve him. So that even if at the end of life they said, oh, now you're going to Vaikuntha, they'll say, wait a minute, I don't want to go. At the end of life, the Vishnu Dutas come and say, go to Vaikuntha. Well, what's it like there? Well, it's all the time service to Vishnu. All the time? What's the salary? There's no salary. Well, what's it like? Do they have cricket on TV there? No cricket, no TV. Well, I don't want to go, forget it. So we can't actually enter Vaikuntha unless we are prepared to do so. That we have to be prepared to do so by understanding that this world is not our actual place. It is not the place that is actually favorable for our existence. Our place is in the spiritual world that we have to understand and accept. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us to go beyond the Vaikuntha to the platform of love for Krishna, pure love for Krishna, specifically by chanting the holy names of Krishna. The holy names of Krishna, they free us from all sinful activities and give us love of Krishna. Vaikuntha nama grahanam asheshagam haram viduhu. By chanting the Vaikuntha names, spiritual names, then all sins are destroyed. But over and beyond that, it gives love of Krishna. Hare Krishna Mahamantra Eto Shobhav Jai Jape Tare Krishna Upajayi Bhav. It's the very nature of the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra that one develops love and feelings for Krishna. So we should chant Hare Krishna and hear from devotees. If we don't hear from devotees, then we cannot chant Hare Krishna. There are many entertainers who chant Hare Krishna. You can buy the cassettes of their very sweet sounding music. There are many commercial cassettes of chanting of Vaikuntha Nam, Vishnu Sahasranam and so on. They are marketed for commercial purposes, not out of love of Krishna. And those who are chanting, they're also not clear who is this Vishnu, whose name they are chanting. So if we call out the name of Krishna, we should know who Krishna is. Chanting Hare Krishna means calling out to Krishna. So if we think that Krishna is some mythological figure or historical figure, Charitra Nayakam? Novel figure.
Nayakan means figure.
Nayaka means hero. Alright. Charitra means life story. Alright, sorry, it's different in Tamil. Charitra Nayakam would mean the hero in a novel in Bengali. Or if we think that Krishna is just some figment of the imagination, then Krishna will not come. We'll call Krishna, but Krishna won't come. Just like in Tamil, they call out to some young boy or something, Tambi. So many people are calling out Tambi, Tambi. So someone, maybe he's called by someone else, Tambi, but then he hears someone else calling, and he knows, oh, he's calling someone else, he's not calling me. So in the same way, we may call out Krishna, Krishna. Krishna is hearing, but he's not calling me. I won't go. When we know who is Krishna, Krishna means Ishvara Parama Krishna Satyarananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karanam. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Controller. He is not a product of this material world. We shouldn't think, oh, he's born of Devaki and therefore he's just an ordinary person under karma. Nakalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan Akila Dehinam Antaratma Drik. Although he appears to be simply the son of a cowherd boy, he's actually the super soul in everyone's heart. His spiritual form is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. He is the cause of all causes. He is Govinda. There's nothing before him, everything comes from him. So, calling out for Krishna means we should know who Krishna is and develop that desire to love Krishna. If we call out to Krishna, just like Artho Jignaso, Artarti, we call out to Krishna in distress. Say, Krishna, come and solve my problems. Or Krishna, the object of curiosity. Or Krishna, the cosmic ATM. Bank machine. Press the button and money comes. Artarti. I need some money, Krishna. I don't have any credit in my account. Okay. Can't get it from the ATM. Okay, go to the temple. So we can call out Krishna, Krishna, but we won't get Krishna. Draupadi, she called out for Krishna. One hand holding onto her cloth. Krishna didn't come. Then when she realized I have nothing in this life to hold on to, I should only hold on to the lotus feet of Krishna. Then Krishna came. So we should understand who Krishna is and practice calling out his name constantly. We can chant Hare Krishna even while eating, even while passing stool and urine. If we practice like this, then even in sleeping, we'll be chanting the names. Kayate shuite jata tata namaloy desha kala niyam nahi sarva siddhi hoy. This chanting the holy names of Krishna can and should be done in all circumstances, even while eating and sleeping. This is the best process. This will prepare us to go to Krishna. Krite yadhyayato vishnam traitayo yadyato makai dwapare paricharyayam kalo tadhari kirtanat. The process for the Dharma Yuga, or the religious process in the age of Satya Yuga was Dhyanam. In Treta Yuga, when the Dhyanam was not so much possible due to more disturbances, then the rishis introduced the process of Yajna. But when Yajna also that became not very possible due to the increasing contamination of the age, therefore the process of Archan, deity worship, was introduced. And when it became not possible even to perform Archan very properly, then the Kirtan process was introduced. So we may think that, well, then Kirtan is an inferior process. But actually Kirtan is superior to all other processes of sadhana. One reason, it doesn't depend upon any conditions or previous eligibility. Why is that? Because Kirtan is the natural function of the jiva. The meditation, contemplation, this is not the natural function of the jiva. Nor is yajna, nor is archana. All these are processes which are done at some time and then stopped at another time. One cannot perform dhyana or yajna or archan while eating, sleeping or passing urine and stool. In fact, the Rakshasas, they used to come and pass urine and stool in the yajna kund to spoil the yajna. But chanting Hare Krishna can be done in any circumstance because it is the intrinsic function of the soul. It doesn't depend on any material condition. Therefore, chanting Hare Krishna is the best dhyana. It is the best yajna. It is the best archan. Dhyana means to contemplate the Lord. That is best done by chanting His holy names, even better than trying to fix His form in the mind. Kirtan is the best yajna. Yajna means offering to the Lord. But kirtan, actual kirtan, is done with the consciousness of Ainanda Tanaja Kingaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya Tavapada Pangaja Stita Dhuli Sadrisham Vichinta. That my Lord, I am fallen in this material world, but I am yours. Please place me as the dust of your lotus feet, which means to place me in your service. Offering ourselves, Atma Samarpan Bhav. And Archan means to perform various activities for the pleasure of the Lord, such as offering Him food, water, clothing, arati. So all these activities are pleasing to the Lord, but above all, He likes that His name be chanted. So chanting Harinam is the best system of archan. Therefore, Kalo sabhajiyanti arya gunagyat sara bhagina yatra sankirtana eva sarva swato bhalabhyate. Therefore, those who are very intelligent, they glorify Kali Yuga. Those who are born in Satya Yuga, they are thinking, better I should be born in Kali Yuga. In Satya Yuga, everything is generally peaceful and calm. Everyone is spiritually oriented. So why should anyone want to be who is born in Satya Yuga, why should they want to be born in Kali Yuga? There's so much disturbance in Kali Yuga. Because in this Kali Yuga, by performing Sankirtan, everything is fulfilled very easily. Kalo doshanidhe rajan, kale doshanidhe rajan. This Shukadev Goswami explained to Parikshit Maharaj, this Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. Ekohyasti mahan guna, but there is one great quality. There is one great quality of Kali Yuga which makes all the inconveniences seem insignificant. Kirtanad eva Krishnasya mukta sangha parang vrajet. That by chanting the names of Krishna, one can be free from all material contamination and go back to the spiritual world. So you may think that we could not go to Sri Rangam today and go to the Vaikuntha Dwara. So we shall go to ISKCON Salem instead. But actually you're more fortunate to come to here. If you go to Sri Rangam, that would be good, that would be nice. In the great rush of so many people, you can walk through the Vaikuntha Dwara. But having come here, you have heard how to develop Vaikuntha consciousness that will surely take us to Vaikuntha. Going to temples is good, we recommend. I personally visited all the major Vishnu temples in India. But more important even is to hear from devotees who can explain to us how we can develop actual attachment to Krishna. That is the meaning of going to Vaikuntha. We have to develop attachment for Krishna. If we have attachment for this material world, then we cannot have attachment for Krishna. In the Christian faith in which I was brought up, we are taught that you be good, you pray to God, and you will go to heaven. And no one's very clear exactly what heaven's all about, but it's generally considered that it's pretty nice there. You'll have a good time there. As one English theologian described, heaven is like England. Vaikuntha is not like England. Vaikuntha means everything is centered on Vishnu. And those loving feelings for Vishnu, which are fostered in Vaikuntha, are increased hundreds and thousands of times by the residents of Golok Vrindavan in their love for Govinda. Nowadays they are advertising, go to the moon. If you pay 20,000 rupees now, then after some time we'll develop a rocket, you can go on a tour to the moon. Now in India it's become a fashion among the richer people to go on holiday to Malaysia and Singapore. So like that, they're advertising in America, you've been to Hawaii, you've been to, what are the places they go to in America? You've been to Europe, you've been to Paris and Switzerland and all these places. Now you've been to China, so now you can go to the moon. You just give $20,000 deposit now, and after 20 years or so, we'll take you to the moon. When we've developed the technology. I think they're hoping all the people will die in the meantime. I remember after the first so-called space shot, in 1968, Pan American Airlines took money from people for developing commercial flights to the moon. Could you turn off your moon buzzer, whatever it is? Pan American, in the meantime, Pan Am went out of business. They're advertising, go to the moon. You went to Hawaii, China, Paris, all these places are useless, now try the moon. We are not advertising, go to the moon. We are advertising, go to Krishna. What is the use of going to the moon? What is the use of going anywhere? Now people want to go to America. But instead of suffering birth, death, old age and disease in India, you can suffer birth, death, old age and disease in America. And if you manage to, your wife, if she can deliver a child in America, the child can become an American citizen. And then you can be secure of staying in America. But now the Americans are also very afraid. Anytime Bin Laden may send a bomb. So don't try to go to America. Don't try to go to the moon. Go to Krishna. Yad-gat-vana nivartante tad-dhama paramamama. Go to that place where there is no suffering, there is no misery. Tu gita nartane shabha shakigane tusiche jugaladhane. In that place called Vrindavan, simply the gopis and the gopas are singing and dancing for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna. So let us try to go there. We can go by this process of chanting the holy names of Krishna. So we should do it. It is the Goloka Dwaram. But don't think I will chant Hare Krishna once and then no need to do anything else. That's true. You chant Hare Krishna and then there's no need to do anything else except chant Hare Krishna. That means everything else stopped and only chanting Hare Krishna. Even other things may go on, but chanting of Hare Krishna must go on.
கூடவே ஹரே கிருஷ்ண மகாமந்திர ஜபம் நடந்து கொண்டே இருக்க வேண்டும் நம் வாழ்வில்.
Chanting of Hare Krishna. We've heard in Shastra about so many great rishis and munis. There are so many great rishis. And in South India, only one, Agastya, who's equivalent to all the rishis in North India. So Agastya Rishi, his life became successful when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visiting South India met him and told him to chant Hare Krishna. And we're also getting the chance. And who are we and who is Agastya Rishi? We're not rishis. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us the chance, the same chance, as great exalted personalities. Patra patra vichanahi nahi sthanastan jai jaha pai tare deya premadhan. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not consider who is eligible, who is ineligible. What is a proper place for preaching Krishna consciousness and what is improper. Because if there is consideration, who is eligible for Krishna consciousness, in this Kali Yuga we'll find no one. Everyone is sinful, foolish, rascal, idiot, number one. There are so many contests in the modern age. They're very popular contests. They like to see who's got number one marks in the state, or contest for getting a government job. And see if you have so much competition for government jobs. Now it will be that if you have to have at least 3 MSCs, then you can apply for the job of street sweeper. Then there's Miss World, Miss India, Miss Tamil Nadu, Miss Salem, Miss Rajaram Nagar, Miss Hare Krishna Road. In every street corner there's a beauty contest. But if we have a contest, who is the most foolish? Very big competition. Difficult to say. So foolish. The very fact that they're having beauty contests means they've become so foolish. General knowledge competition. Who's got the most, who's the most famous actor in the 1950s, and all kinds of ridiculous, useless information. So to pass the general knowledge test, to become number one means that you have got more rubbish in your brain than anyone else. So who is eligible for spiritual knowledge when our brain is filled up with so much nonsense? Where should we go to preach Krishna consciousness? Everywhere, everyone is talking about all kinds of nonsense. And they're very proud of it. Well, we're science students, we don't believe in God. Science has proved there's no God. That first man in space, supposed to be, Yuri Gagarin, He went in space and he came back and said, I didn't see any God. That means there's no God. Very intelligent. People are extraordinarily foolish and they are proud of it. That means they're more foolish. Tamil Nadu, the No God organization. So who to preach to? So special offer. No one here is eligible. So just, alright, everyone, just come and take Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving. If we have slight bit of intelligence, we shall take to Krishna consciousness. Krishnavanam Krisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Yajanti Hi Sumedasa. In Kali Yuga, people have no brains. There's just some cow dung where their brain should be. But if anyone has any brain, then they should chant Hare Krishna. Worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by the process of Sankirtan Yoga. Chanting Hare Krishna improves the intelligence. There is no intelligence. Unless we are chanting Hare Krishna means there is no intelligence. Now intelligence means we're misusing our intelligence. They've become so intelligent, they've developed so many new machines and so much technology. With tremendous intelligence, they've developed all kinds of technology so that now we can go on the internet and watch all kinds of pornography. So this is misused intelligence. Real intelligence means to understand that the purpose of life is to go through that door which we will not have to come back to this material world, go to Krishna. So please don't come here only on Vaikuntha Ekadasi. You should come here and stay here. Don't go back. You want to go to Vaikuntha, then why are you going back home? You can just all stay here. Never mind your home, all these things. That's not your home. Your home is with Krishna. So you just stay here and serve Krishna and there's no problem. You go But because you may not be ready to accept such a proposal, or even if you are, others will so much strongly protest. Then even you go back home, but you keep your consciousness here. Don't go back to that. Here means Vaikuntha consciousness. So when you go home, then you keep that Vaikuntha consciousness with you. You may think, well, how is that possible? We have so many different duties to do. That example was given by the gopis, that they were performing their household duties but always remembering Krishna. So you go on, whatever duties may be there you do, but go on chanting Hare Krishna and develop Vaikuntha consciousness. And now there's going to be a slideshow to demonstrate this on the basis of Bhagavad Gita.